go. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Welcome to a new episode, a new experiment today. I am for the first time trying to roast a chicken in the oven here, and I'll start it now. And I think the chicken is going to be different than the previous projects in so much as what I want is to achieve a relatively high temperature and a roasting time which should not be more than 1 hour, I think. So we'll see how it works out, but I want a more a different method, not the long time roasting, but brief and short. But we'll start igniting the oven. I have a little bit of new idea here as well. I want to try to contain the fire predominantly in one side of the firebox in order to maybe reduce some of the temperature, at least on some of the cooking surface. So we'll see how that works out as well. As you can see, I've prepared again here this kind of small rich cavity between these two pieces of wood, and then there's a smaller piece of kindle wood here as well. This is the wood I've talked about before, which I tried to soak in old cooking oil. So in order for it hopefully to assist the fire starter here in getting this going. You see the oiled wood, it's certainly catches fire quite swiftly and willingly. And we'll just wait for the fire starter to be more covered in flames. Takes a little while. So now we're getting somewhere. This one's a little bit too long, apparently, for this purpose at least. I have a couple of other more kindling pieces here. Put on the other side here. Should always be careful not to enclose the fire starter. So I need a nice piece on top now. I think this one here will suffice, hopefully. Can put this ridge down towards the fire starter. Hopefully it won't suffocate it, but create a nice seal. You don't want to have too much air around the fire actually. You want to conceal the fire in a relatively small space. There we are, that looks, I should think, promising. As this burns along, the top piece will catch fire and it will fit with the two larger pieces in the bottom and create a pretty tight fire. It would seem that the fire starter has actually been too enclosed. It is burning, but only a little bit. So, oh, you know what's going on now. It's a bit. I will put in another fire starter here to the end, so that will hopefully be more effective. All right, now it's 15 minutes later, and the fire is slowly picking up. Let's open, see what's going on. There you are, coming along. Has to spread down. It's only here at the front where the second fire starter went, and of course the first fire starter was close to the hatch here as well, so that's where it's caught on, but it will spread eventually. So let's time this for your benefits. It's now 16:49.
Weather is pretty poor, around 10 degrees centigrade, and raining as well. And as you can see here, the fire still emitting a lot of smoke, hasn't yet reached a good temperature where all the smoke is consumed by the fire.
Another few 10 minutes later, you can see improvement is pretty rapid, and it is certainly picking up now. Let's open up to give you a better view. Still early days, but coming on nicely. And I will close the bypass here to start heating the oven. Alright, just past 5:30, and fire is coming on nicely now. Almost the first pieces here are closely almost consumed, so I will now put on a new batch of firewood, and I want to get the temperature going. It's still quite moderate here, but I will give it a really nice punch and keep the airflow, and hopefully that will give it a nice push in the temperature. There you go. Here on top. So, see how that fares. Just take the top off here. Actually reduces the. That's nice. If you let in too much air, it also, of course, has the effect of, to some extent, cooling the fire, if there is, so to say, too much air. So that's going nice. Let's have a look at the bird. And here we have it. Nice a nice chicken, just around 1.5 kilos, and below the grid here I have vegetables of potatoes and onions and leaks and whatnot. A little bit of the chili we didn't use the last time, but please take note here also the sound immediately coming from putting it on the cooktop here. Try to put it to the other side, see if that doesn't seem to make much of a difference. Just for good measure, give it a little bit of this chili here, which is left from the last time, and then pop it in the oven. It's getting hot. It's around only 100 degrees centigrade at this point, but let's see what happens with this addition of firewood. So here we go. Let me turn on the oven light. That's it. Fire is coming along nicely, but I do think actually I need more heat than this, so I will expand now the fire to the right side of the firebox in order to get a higher output. Open a little bit. I did squeeze it a little bit here, but I'll open it more now. I think this should produce a rapid increase in temperature in the oven for the benefit of the roast. Alright, so only 20 minutes later, and I can see the temperature in the oven has increased tremendously, and now, as you can see also, of course, a lot of the wood here has been consumed in only these few minutes, so of course I have to feed the fire. Opening here, a wave of heat comes towards me. This is too big. Very nice piece of oak here, I think. Do nicely for really hot outside here, but as soon as I close the door here, the heat is contained inside. There are, I think, 3 layers of glass here, so it is hot, but there we go. Now let's have a look at the roast, how it's coming along. Yes, it's taken on some color here on the chest of the chicken. Looks very promising actually. I think I'll give it like maybe 5-10 minutes more on this side before I turn it around. Also, I forgot really examining the manometer here, which says something like, let me pick it up here with this one. Yeah. Claims about 150 centigrade here, and It seems to be about as hot as it gets, according certainly to these measurements. The other thermometer, which we know certainly is not showing the right, showing much too higher temperature, is well beyond 200, well beyond 200. Let me just try to actually, yeah, it doesn't feel all that hot in there, but of course there is a radiant heat coming from the sides and the top and the bottom of the oven. I do think though that I probably need actually to feed the fire a little bit more to keep it going more. There we go, and the other angle here will hopefully bring it along nicely now. All right, time to turn around the bird and feed the fire. Yes, steam is pouring out. And let me see. It's very crispy, almost too crispy here for its own good. I'm afraid the skin will crack off, but let's tend to the back side here. A little bit of heat to the back side as well, and as far as I understand, turning it around with the breast turning downwards should help prevent the dry breast meat, which well, is a common problem. And then what have we here? A nice piece, I think, which will carry us the rest of the way. Yeah, that's it. Yes, the temperature down here on the oven, the built-in thermometer has increased even further. It is now approaching 300 according to its own measurements, whereas the other one which I've provided is still, well, it has gone beyond. It is somewhere between 150 and 200, I guess. So what can you trust? Certainly it is hotter than 150. I think the heat is somehow different than what you'd see in a normal oven, but then again, why should it be? But it certainly seems to be different in some way. Now I will, it's been almost an hour since I put in the bird, so now I'll just give it a few minutes here on the back side and then try seeing how it fares on the other side. The skin did crack, it was so crisp that it cracked when I turned it around, so we'll see how it has managed in a few minutes. A few minutes later, well, 10 minutes, good 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes later, and I will check the bird. Yes, look at that, roasted up nicely here on the back side as well. So let me turn it around to check the front side. Yeah, it has of course been, also because of the moisture under the griddle here, it has of course softened up here, but nice color. I'll just give it a few minutes here to crisp up, and then I think we're just about there. I am getting impatient. Let's see if we already have some effect here. Yeah, I think this is fine with me. Let's see. Yeah, it is on still somewhere between around 170s, 175 according to this one. A lot of juice down there, of course, produced by all the greeneries and the chicken, so maybe it's a bit too much. I had thought we just eat it with it as it is in the soup, but let's check it out. Maybe I can boil it down a little bit here. It certainly seems to have moved in that direction right now. So it has to rest for a few minutes, 10 minutes, and before we cut it up. Alright, moving in for the cut. Here the potatoes and carrots and stuff. Certainly tender to the cut. Let's see here, the breast meat. Quite nice actually. Very exciting, and another success. So yeah, until next time.